Breaking Did Love and Hip Hop just turn into Law and Order, Betrayal Victims Unit. Because what popped off in that courtroom wasn't just drama, it was a full-blown emotional detonation. Lil Scrappy didn't just show up, he erupted, and the target of his fury, none other than the king of creepin' himself. Mr. I'm everybody's friend until I'm in your bed, Stevie J. Yep. Buckle up, because this ain't just a messy love triangle, it's a scorched earth saga of trust demolished, receipts leaked, and betrayal served piping hot. Ask yourself, how do you go from calling a man your brother to dragging him in court like he's your worst enemy? How does a friendship turn into full-scale war with DMIs, hotel footage, and baby mama backstabbing? And why does it feel like every single moment of this scandal was filmed in high definition, with the universe saying, let's make this one go viral? Lil Scrappy stood up in court, looked dead in the eyes of Stevie J, and said the words no reality TV fan ever thought they'd hear. Y'all been playing in my face? Oh, you thought it was over after the cheating rumors? Nah, this is just the opening scene. Stay locked in, this one's about to get dangerously real. Just when you thought love and hip-hop had peaked in toxicity, the courtroom transformed into a live taping of the most scandalous betrayal to ever hit reality TV's underground. Cameras weren't rolling, but mouths sure were. And what flew out of Lil Scrappy's mouth had the entire gallery gasping like they'd just watched a wedding turn into a wrestling match. Picture this: a silent, tense courtroom filled with legal jargon, expensive suits, and judgmental stares. Then suddenly, Boom Scrappy stands up, slams his fist on the table, and unleashes absolute mayhem. Y'all been playing in my face, he roared, voice cracking with fury, eyes burning holes straight through Stevie J, who had the audacity to sit there with the kind of smug grin you'd only wear if you knew you were guilty but thought you'd never get caught. And right there, everything shifted. This wasn't just about probation violations or custody battles anymore. This was personal. This was betrayal with a capital B. And Scrappy wasn't just hurt, he was gutted. Because when a man looks you in the eye and calls you his brother, then sleeps with your wife behind your back, not just a scandal, it's emotional arson. And Bambi, the woman at the center of this three-alarm fire, sat motionless, her face unreadable, like she hadn't just become the nucleus of one of the most jaw-dropping love triangles in urban entertainment history. It all started, allegedly, with Whisper's anonymous messages, blurry photos, cryptic Instagram captions, but those whispers turned into roars the second Stevie J's name appeared on the court's witness list. That's right, Scrappy's longtime so-called friend wasn't just sitting in court for moral support, he was called as a character witness. And not in favor of Scrappy. Sources close to the case say the moment Scrappy saw Stevie's name on that list, something snapped. You could practically hear the trust shattering into microscopic pieces as the courtroom tension thickened into a fog. And then came the receipts. Not metaphorical ones, actual digital imprinted files that Scrappy allegedly dropped on the courtroom table like he was dropping a diss track. You want truth? I got truth, he shouted. I got voice notes, I got hotel receipts, I got Deems. Don't play with me. According to those in the room, what followed was pure chaos. Court officers had to intervene. Attorneys were whispering urgently. And Stevie J, he didn't say a word. Not one. Just leaned back, arms crossed, with that same grin that could curdle milk. Now let's rewind, because this mess didn't explode overnight. This was years in the making. Scrappy and Stevie J go way back, industry events, reality TV sets, mutual exes, and shared secrets. They were never exactly the picture of healthy friendship, but they had history.
All right.
So when rumors began floating that Stevie had been getting a little too friendly with Bambi, most people brushed it off as gossip, until the leak started. First, it was the DM screenshots, allegedly between Stevie and Bambi. With timestamps conveniently lining up with the nights Scrappy was out of town, The messages weren't just flirty, they were bold. One read, "He don't treat you right. Come get what you deserve." Another, "I always keep it low-key for you. Just say the word." Then came the voice note. Grainy, sure. But the voice, unmistakably Stevie, "You already know I got you. I've been got you." The internet erupted. Fans flipped. Even bloggers who swore they'd seen it all were left stunned. But Scrappy, he didn't go online. He didn't post cryptic tweets or delete photos. He stayed silent. Too silent. Turns out he was doing something far more dangerous. He was gathering evidence. Sources say Scrappy hired a private investigator months ago after a gut feeling turned into sleepless nights. And what that investigator found was enough to make a grown man weep and rage all at once. Surveillance footage, hotel check-ins, late-night studio sessions, and one particularly damning clip of Stevie J and Bambi entering an Airbnb 20 minutes apart but leaving together 3 hours later. And no, they weren't carrying studio equipment. When confronted, Bambi reportedly deflected, claiming business meetings and charity collabs. But when Scrappy discovered Stevie's number saved in her phone under a fake name Derek from PR, he knew it was a wrap. Behind the scenes, Scrappy was spiraling. Not from heartbreak alone, but from betrayal that went beyond the bedroom. Because, guess what? Stevie J didn't just sneak behind his back. He allegedly submitted a written character statement to the court painting Scrappy as unstable, temperamental, and emotionally erratic. Let that sit for a second. It's the same man who, toasted to loyalty on camera, was now feeding prosecutors quotes that made Scrappy sound like a threat to his own child. And while Stevie kept quiet publicly, Bambi played the victim on socials, posting filtered selfies and passive-aggressive captions like, "Only God knows the truth." But see, the internet doesn't forget. And when users dug up old Love and Hip Hop reunion clips of Stevie making flirtatious jokes at Bambi or of Scrappy throwing subtle shade, it all started making a sinister kind of sense. One resurfaced quote hit fans hard in a 2022 interview. Scrappy said, "You don't ever expect the people at your table to be the ones stealing your silverware." It was eerie, almost prophetic. And now, here we are. It's a courtroom full of lies, betrayals, and broken bonds. What was supposed to be a routine legal proceeding turned into an expose that no camera crew could have scripted better. The judge called for a recess, but the drama, that was just getting started. Because behind the curtains, there was more footage, more receipts, and allegedly, a 9-minute video sitting in Scrappy's legal team's possession. A video that could burn Stevie J's entire image to the ground. And if that footage ever sees the light of day, we're not just talking career damage, we're talking cancellation, custody war, and reputations that won't survive the fire. What came next wasn't just a plot twist, it was a full-scale detonation that no one, not even Mona Scott, could have manufactured with a script team and a bottle of tequila. The day after the courtroom eruption, an anonymous account dropped. A digital bombshell on social media, a folder titled Retaliation Files containing screenshots, transcripts, audio clips, and a few darkly lit hotel surveillance images that left nothing to the imagination. These weren't your average blurry receipts with question marks and speculation. These were timestamped, geotagged, and straight from the digital underworld of betrayal. The first screenshot? It's a chilling message exchange between Bambi and Stevie J from late 2023. Stevie wrote, "Just say when. Squat, I'll always pull up. No questions." Bambi replied with a heart emoji and the words, "Only you know how to calm me down." Calm her down from what? Her marriage, her guilt, or her thrill of dancing on the edge of destruction? Then came the audio note, that infamous voice clip circulating like wildfire among fans and bloggers alike. Stevie's voice was unmistakable, low and smooth, saying, he don't deserve you. You're already mine in every way that counts. The file was labeled bedroomconfession.mp3, and fans didn't just listen. they dissected it like a forensic team on a crime scene. And if that wasn't enough to rip through any remaining doubts, the bombshell landed 3 hours later. A grainy night vision hotel video of Bambi and Stevie J entering a Miami condo. Bambi had her hoodie up, Stevie had his signature gold bracelet on, and they didn't come out for over 6 hours. No crew, no friends, no witnesses. It's just the two of them, hiding in plain sight, committing what looked like betrayal with a capital B word spread fast. The video got ripped, reposted, and mirrored across every shady blog and reaction channel from Atlanta to LA. And while Bambi posted a selfie with a caption about self-love and healing, Scrappy was preparing legal firepower. His team filed an emergency motion to enter all digital evidence into the court record. Not just for the custody case, but for a potential harassment claim. See, this wasn't just emotional betrayal anymore. This was documented interference in an active legal dispute, and Scrappy wasn't about to play nice. Meanwhile, Stevie J kept posting vague lines on social media like "real ones move in silence" and "stay woke." The truth always wins, which sounded less like wisdom and more like a man desperately trying to rewrite the narrative while the walls closed in, public opinion turned fast. Where fans once laughed at Stevie's antics or shrugged off Bambi's drama, they were now furious. Not just for Scrappy, but for every ounce of loyalty these two stomped on like it was cheap carpet. Old clips resurfaced of Stevie joking about taking people's girls, and of Bambi smirking during interviews whenever Scrappy's name came up. Suddenly, everything seemed loaded, suspicious, dripping in irony. But the worst was yet to come. Enter the NDA, a supposed non-disclosure agreement dated October 2024, signed digitally by both Stevie J and Bambi, leaked by someone calling themselves Truthfender. The document laid out rules for keeping their interactions private, no sharing of texts, no public acknowledgement of emotional ties, and an alarming clause about protecting the image of associated parties from tabloid or courtroom exposure. Legal experts immediately weighed in, calling it highly suspicious but also potentially legitimate. If true, it meant this wasn't just an affair. It was a secret partnership designed to avoid consequences while manipulating a custody battle. Behind the scenes, Scrappy's legal team pounced. They added the NDA to their evidentiary list and subpoenaed Stevie for a deposition, demanding clarity on the timeline of his involvement with Bambi. And that's when the whispers began whispers. That Mona Scott herself was furious. According to inside production sources, Mona had greenlit a new spin-off featuring Bambi as a lead. But after the courtroom disaster and media firestorm, the deal was quietly iced. One production staffer even leaked a memo allegedly stating, "We do not promote behavior that undermines legal integrity or exploits family trauma for ratings." Translation: Bambi's reality TV career might have just flatlined. Brands began backing away too. Within 48 hours of the video leak, Bambi was quietly dropped from 2 upcoming sponsorships. Her face disappeared from beauty campaigns and fashion collabs without so much as a public statement. One source said the PR teams were told to ghost the association, which is industry speak for scrub her like a scandal never happened. And Stevie, he doubled down on his villain arc. Instead of laying low, he posted a throwback photo of him and Scrappy with the caption, "Funny how tables turn when snakes get exposed." Fans didn't buy it. Comment sections exploded with accusations, and a Change.org petition began circulating titled "Ban the Betrayal. Remove Stevie and Bambi from VH1." Within a day, it had over 70,000 signatures. Scrappy, on the other hand, wasn't out here playing the sympathy card. Case stayed mostly silent, but let the legal filings do the talking. Court documents revealed that his team was preparing to introduce additional video evidence, including footage from an Atlanta studio where Stevie and Bambi were seen alone during hours the studio was supposedly closed to the public. A staff member, speaking under condition of anonymity, said he saw them arguing one minute and getting real close the next. This wasn't just infidelity, it was coordinated sabotage, a takedown from within. The more that came out, the more fans started connecting dots between past shady behavior and current scandals. Every fake smile, every just friends moment, now looked like a loaded gun waiting to go off. And then, as if fate couldn't resist throwing one more match into the fire, Mama D went live. That's right, the queen mother of messy reality. Truth-telling jumped on Instagram and poured a gallon of gasoline on the chaos. I've been telling y'all she didn't love my son. She was an opportunist from the jump. And Stevie. That boy been sneaky since day one. I told Scrappy I told him, but he was blinded by love, okay? Now he wide awake. Her words were raw, unfiltered, and instantly viral. The clip made it to the shade room in less than 20 minutes. Mama D didn't hold back. She called Bambi a pretty liar and Stevie a devil in Dior. And let's be honest, when Mama D speaks, the people listen, especially when she's been proven right. As pressure mounted, insiders claimed Bambi was scrambling to recover, considering a tell-all interview or even a public apology tour. But every move she made only made it worse. Fans weren't interested in polished statements or filtered tears. They wanted accountability. They wanted truth. And most of all, they wanted justice for Scrappy. Because in this game of betrayal, the underdog had suddenly become the people's champion. And as all eyes turned toward the looming court date, one final leak promised to shift everything again. A 9-minute video. The one allegedly filmed inside that Miami condo. Described by insiders as the nail in the coffin. It reportedly showed Stevie and Bambi not just kissing, but discussing Scrappy directly mocking him. Planning their next meet and sealing what fans are now calling the ultimate betrayal pact. The video hadn't surfaced yet, but rumor had it, Scrappy's team had it queued and ready. If released, it wouldn't just destroy reputations, it could shift the legal battle entirely. The clock was ticking, the stakes were rising, and the silence from Stevie and Bambi was only getting louder by the hour. And then, without warning, everything detonated. At 2:43 a.m., a burner account uploaded the long-rumored 9-minute video that had been whispered about in court hallways. Hinted at in anonymous emails and guarded like national treasure by legal team. The title was simple: Miami Truth Tape. But what it showed was anything but simple. Within 10 minutes of upload, it was already mirrored across every gossip blog, underground forum, and reaction page on the internet. It was grainy, slightly shaky, but very real. The footage opened inside a dimly lit Miami condo. Stevie J could be seen pacing in front of a glass window, visibly agitated, shirt off, phone in hand. Bambi entered the frame moments later, her hoodie pulled halfway over her face, tension dripping from her posture. What happened next wasn't speculation, it was confirmation. The two engaged in a heated exchange, their words muffled but angry, their faces telling stories that needed no subtitles. Then the argument faded into a soft conversation, the distance between them closing, and then it happened. An embrace, a kiss, and then a series of moments that cut to black just as things became unmistakably intimate. No more denials. No more vague captions. This was betrayal, caught in real time, and the internet wasn't ready for what followed. By 7 a.m., the footage had been viewed over 1.2 million times, with Scrappy's legal team confirming it as part of the evidence packet filed in the ongoing custody case. Court officials scrambled to get ahead of the press, issuing statements about privacy violations and digital leaks. But the damage was done. Stevie J, once known for his slick talk and producer creds, was now being labeled as the most disloyal man in reality TV history. Bambi, whose name had once carried glamour and hustle, was reduced to trending accusations of manipulation, deception, and legal misconduct. Scrappy's camp seized the moment. They released a statement not to the press but straight to his fans, posted on a black screen with white letters that read, "They tried to break me, but truth don't lie. I got my daughter, I got my voice, and I got receipts." Public sympathy shifted in a matter of hours. Scrappy was no longer just a rapper turned reality star. He became a symbol of betrayal survivors. His Spotify numbers jumped overnight. Radio interviews were booked, and supporters flooded his comment sections with virtual fist bumps and prayers. But behind the scenes, it was far more complex. Bambi's lawyers rushed to file an injunction, demanding that the video be barred from being used in the custody proceedings, claiming it was obtained illegally and violated privacy laws. However, Scrappy's legal team pushed back, arguing that if the video proved deception and deliberate emotional harm during an active case, it was admissible under contested family law. The judge scheduled an emergency hearing. Meanwhile, Stevie J, he finally spoke, but not in court. No, he went live, in a low-lit studio filled with smoke and speakers. Stevie, visibly rattled but still clinging to that performative calm, told his version of the story. "I ain't perfect," he said, "but I ain't the villain they making me out to be. People twist narratives, y'all only seeing one side." The live didn't go as planned. Viewers flooded the comments calling him everything but innocent. One comment read, "This ain't twisted. It's recorded with your face in HD." Explain that Stevie ended the live in under 8 minutes, mumbling something about loyalty being a two-way street. But the streets weren't listening anymore. They were watching the implosion. Brands that had worked with Bambi and Stevie began pulling out faster than press reps could write statements. One luxury hair brand dropped Bambi without notice, deleting every post she appeared in. A vodka brand Stevie was seen promoting Issued, a quiet PR note distancing themselves from non-compliant public behavior. And then came the final blow from VH1. An insider leaked a confidential memo allegedly signed by production, stating that Stevie J and Bambi were indefinitely benched from all upcoming love and hip-hop franchise projects. The memo read, "We encourage vulnerability and real life, but we do not condone conduct that endangers children's well-being, breaches confidentiality agreements, or disrupts legal investigations." That wasn't just a benching, that was blacklisting. Industry whispers said Mona Scott had been fuming, blindsided by just how far her stars had taken their off-camera drama. Executives reportedly met to discuss a possible spin-off starring Scrappy as a single father navigating betrayal and fatherhood, but nothing was confirmed. Still, the tone was clear. Stevie and Bambi were out. Scrappy somehow had emerged from the flames, not just standing, but marching. As the legal war continued, new filings showed that Scrappy's team was now building a harassment case, citing psychological warfare, character assassination, and potential tampering with court proceedings. One clause even suggested federal court involvement if interstate digital harassment could be proven. This wasn't just pettiness, this was lawfare. And while Bambi remained publicly quiet, a source close to her team claimed she was preparing to countersue for defamation, emotional abuse, and unauthorized surveillance. But it all rang hollow. The court of public opinion had already spoken, and Bambi's brand had taken too many hits to recover cleanly. Her follower count dipped. Collaborations dried up. Even her usual influencer circles stopped tagging her. Stevie J went radio silent. His last post, a cryptic photo of him staring at a city skyline, read, "Sometimes the spotlight is just a flashlight shining on your dirt. Too little, too late." And then, the cherry on top. Mama D returned, this time on national TV. Sitting on a guest panel with a morning show, she tore through the situation with all the regal flair of a woman who warned everyone years ago. My son loved that girl. He gave her everything. She used him like a prop. And Stevie, he's been a wolf dressed in diamond chains. Y'all just finally caught him under the moonlight." Her words were raw, real, resonant. Fans dubbed her the truth prophet of Love and Hip. And when asked if she thought Scrappy would ever forgive them, her answer was a simple, cold "he might, but I won't, ever." In one final twist, an anonymous tipster sent an email blast to multiple media outlets claiming there was even more footage deleted scenes. Private texts, bank transactions. True, it would mean this wasn't just about a cheating scandal. It would be financial, emotional, legal warfare waged silently for over a year. As Scrappy prepared for the next court date, one thing was clear. He had gone from betrayed to battle-ready. The betrayal may have lit the fire, but now he was using the flames to light his own path forward. And as for Stevie and Bambi, they weren't just facing cancellation, they were facing consequence. In a world where everyone's always watching, turns out receipts don't just expose, they destroy. So now that the receipts are out, the truth is burning hotter than ever, and the masks have officially melted. What do you think? Was Scrappy completely justified in going nuclear in that courtroom? Did Stevie J cross the ultimate line from friend to full-blown traitor? And Bambi was. She truly caught in the middle or masterminding her own reality TV takedown? We want to hear every raw, unfiltered opinion down in the comments. If you were in Scrappy's shoes, what would you do? Would you go silent and heal, or hit back even harder like he did? And more importantly, do you think this kind of betrayal should be forgiven or permanently canceled? If you're as shook, gagged and glued to this drama as we are, go ahead and smash that like button. Tap subscribe and turn those notifications all the way on because, baby, this is just the beginning. We've got more leaks, more courtroom chaos, and even deeper tea coming your way real soon. You already know we don't wait for the network. We are the network. Stay messy, stay woke, and stay locked in right here for the wildest celebrity exposes on the internet. Trust us, you won't want to miss what's coming next.